Hi guys, welcome to Nathbet.com. It's week 31. Easter weekend approaches us, which means that we've got some very interesting fixtures. Actually, 3 of these games that I'm predicting this week are on Friday, so make sure when you're watching this to get these bets on, because some of these games are on Friday night. We'll go straight into the double after our lovely streak came to a disappointing end, let's say, last week after those 2 late games on Sunday. Unfortunately, both teams that we were betting against went down to 10 men, but they still couldn't do the job. But let's get another little run together between now and the end of the season and get those profits right back up again. Okay, we're going to go to League 2 and my bet of the week. First one in the double, and that's Brentford to beat Notts County. Now, Brentford are our joint second in the league with 3 other teams. Really important game for them, and they're at home against Notts County, who haven't won in 6. They've only drawn 3 of those games. I just think that Brentford will be too much for them on the day in League 1. They're available at even money. I was expecting them to be odds on maybe 4 to 6, 5 to 6, but they are even money you can get with them. I think that's a really nice price. So we're going to take Brentford to beat Notts County. Into League 2, and we're taking as the second part of the double Bristol Rovers. They face York City. York City, another one who are winless away from home in their last 6. Yes, they're battling against relegation, so it is an important game for them. So expect an improved performance, but sometimes you're only as good as what you've got in your squad. And I just think that Bristol Rovers, they've got the 2 main strikers back. They're scoring goals. I think that'll be too much for York City. They're available at 5 to 6, so we're going to take them there. That gives us a 2.8 to 1 double with Boyle Sports and a 2.6 to 1 double with Betfred. So any one of those 2 guys, make sure you get on board. A nice little double to start us off with, and we'll go straight on with the treble. No messing about this week. We're going to take Nottingham Forest. They face Brighton at home. We're going to take the home side. We're going to take Nottingham Forest. Billy Davis done a fantastic job since he's been there. They're really challenging for that playoff spot, and I think that's exactly what they'll get come the end of the season. Brighton very good as well, and that's why the Forest are a big price. They're 23 to 20, so the odds against, but they're not nearly as good away from home as they are at home. Brighton, I wouldn't back them against anyone if they're at home, but away from home they struggle. And I think at the county ground with a Nottingham Forest, passionate Nottingham Forest fan base behind them, I think that Forest will be too much for them on this occasion. So we're going to take them at 23 to 20 to beat Brighton at home. Second bet, we're in the Premier League. I wanted to take Manchester United, I wanted to take Chelsea this week, but I'm not going to, just because they've got that game on Monday, which is a bit of a bugger really. I just think that the squad, I've got no idea what squads they're going to put out, especially Manchester United, with the fact that they're so far in front in the Premier League. So I'm not going to bet with them. And Chelsea, difficult game away at Southampton. Southampton have foiled us a couple of times in the last few weeks, so I'm not going to back Chelsea or Manchester United on this occasion. However, a team that needs the win in that to maintain going for that Champions League spot are Tottenham Hotspur. Now they travel to Swansea City. Now, I did mention in previous weeks that Swansea City have basically done what they needed to do this season. They're comfortable mid-table. They're in Europe. They've won that Carling Cup, and I just think that they can relax a bit. Yes, it's a difficult place to go, obviously, but not nearly as difficult as it was earlier on in the season. And so I'm going to take Nottingham Forest. I'm going to take Spurs. Gareth Bale did play a couple of games in midweek. I would have rather him not. He might have picked up a little niggle. But I just think that if he's on form, as long with plenty of the others, I think that'll be too much for Swansea. So we're going to take them at 11 to 8. Very nice price indeed. And the third one to make up the trio, guys, Nottingham Forest, Spurs. The third one is Leicester City. Now, they play Friday. They're one of these teams that play Friday night, so make sure you get this on and get this on early. Leicester City entertain Millwall. Massive game for Leicester City if they're going to maintain this playoff run. Millwall, Jekyll and Hyde, okay, they can play well away from home when they want to, but more often than not, they do struggle away from home. Long trip for them on a Friday night. I fancy Leicester to take all 3 points on this occasion. They were 4 to 6, a little bit skinny, 4 to 6, but I do expect Leicester to win. And if they're 4 to 6 or less, then I don't really care as long as they get the 3 points, and that's what I think they're going to do. That gives us Nottingham Forest, Spurs, Leicester, a 7.6 to 1 treble with Stan James. Onto the fourfold, and a team that are surprisingly in form actually after a horrible run of about 6 or 7 fixtures without a win, and that's Fulham. Went to Spurs, surprisingly won 1-0. I know that bust a lot of tips and accumulators that you all had last weekend. We didn't back them because I wanted to leave them alone, Spurs and Fulham. But Fulham have got a game against QPR coming up at home. QPR, difficult one, isn't it, really? I mean, sometimes they can play well, but more often than not, I think they are going to go down despite Harry Redknapp going there. They're just too brittle at the back. And if Dimitar Berbatov is in form like he has been in recent weeks, I fancy Fulham at Craven Cottage to get all 3 points. Expect a high-scoring game in this one, guys. I expect 4 or 5 goals in this one. So if you're in that goals galore with Betfred, then make sure that this is on your coupon. I think it'll be a 3-1 or maybe 3-2 win for Fulham on this occasion, as long as they win. Even money, Fulham to beat QPR. That's the first one in our fourfold. Second one is Crawley Town. Now, I really like Crawley there against Stevenage. They're another game that's on the Friday night. Crawley are mid-table and are doing pretty well, really. They're pretty consistent, especially at home. Stevenage have not won one game in 6. Not only have they not won one game in the last 6 away from home, they've not even drawn a game. They've lost 6 out of 6 on the road, and I expect that to continue this week. That's why I'm putting them in. They make sure they fit everything perfectly, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to lose on this occasion. They're 10-11, so we're going to make sure Crawley are going to beat Stevenage. Third game, Wigan against Norwich. Now, Wigan at the DW, like I say, battling against relegation. However, they do pull up some excellent results. I said they would beat Newcastle last week. That's exactly what they did. We missed out on the fourfold again by 1 result, which was very frustrating. But they did win that game, albeit in the last 90 seconds or so. A game against Norwich. Norwich don't score much, especially on the road. They are the draw masters, and they are pretty solid, but I just think that Roberto Martinez will get the win. It'll be a tight game, maybe 1 goal deciding it, but I think that Wigan will get the win on this occasion. Kone is just absolutely unbelievable at the moment with the likes of MacArthur and Maloney. I mean, they've got plenty of goals all over the park, so I think that they're going to get the win. Even money about Wigan to beat Norwich. And the fourth one, to make up the fourfold, we're going to go back to my favourite bet of the week, and that was in the double earlier on. That's Brentford. We're going to back Brentford to beat Notts County again. So they're in the double and the fourfold. Like I say, make sure that you check your coupon, guys. 3 of these games are on Friday night because of the Easter weekend. I could have waited till Saturday to back all of them, but these are my favourite bets, so I'm not going to apologise for making some of these selections on the Friday. Let's just hope that you watch this either Thursday or Friday. Okay, guys, that gives us a 13-1 fourfold with Bet Victor. So we've got a nice 2.8-1 double, a 7.6-1 treble, and a 13-1 fourfold. Make sure you've got Pete's long shot as well. That's been doing pretty well recently. And if you want to subscribe to something this week, then Bet365, if you open an account with them, they will give you £200 worth of free bets. Absolute no-brainer. Get involved, guys, and let's hope the Easter Bunny comes for Nathbet and for you guys in the form of chocolate and money. And I will speak to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.